got an email from EBT. I used to get $740 a month for my two kids. And we not getting EBT no more. They took the EBT. They saying I gotta work 20 hours a week. I'm not working for nobody. Get the fuck out of here. This is what Americans, taxpayer, work for. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be quitters now. Y'all been helping us all this time. Now y'all want to tap out. Get the fuck out of here. I want my EBT, yo. I want my EBT, and I'm not working for nobody. I'm a fucking boss. What the fuck I look like working when the government is here to help? Come on. Y'all send all that money to Iraq, Ukraine. Y'all funding all these wars. But when it's time to help the Americans, y'all don't want to help us? I need my EBT, yo. I need my money, yo. I need my fucking EBT. Stop fucking playing with me, yo.
3.5 million people already lost their food stamps, and starting December 31st, it gets so much worse. The One Big Beautiful Bill passed last July, and $1 trillion was cut from Medicaid, and $187 billion was cut from SNAP benefits. This is over the course of 10 years, and the thing that's stupid is that the debt the budget goes up $4 trillion. They didn't cut healthcare to save money. They cut it to give tax breaks to the top 1%, about a $50,000 tax cut per year. 74.9 million people are on Medicaid right now. Kids, pregnant women, disabled, people who are 64 years and younger, low income, and also people who are in between jobs. So starting December 31st, you're going to have to prove that you qualify, and you're going to have to do it twice a year. Right now, you only have to do it once a year. So if you miss your notice, you have no internet access, you can't upload your information, you won't qualify for that month and you'll lose healthcare. And if you're in between jobs, there's no exemption. Kids over 14, you're not exempt. Disabled, technically exempt, but you still have to prove it on paper. Arkansas tried this before, and 18,000 people lost coverage, and not because they stopped working, it's because the paperwork was too confusing and too complicated. Oh, I forgot to say, starting December 31st, you have to prove that you are working 80 hours a month, and there's not an exemption if you're unemployed. Can't find a job? There is no exemption for that. There's no, I've been applying and I can't get hired, because we all know how long it can take sometimes to actually land a job. You either have 80 hours logged or you lose your health care. And I know how hard it is to apply for Medicaid because my husband was laid off last year. And so during his unemployment, we had to apply. It took so long. You fill out so many different forms, answer so many questions. You have to have so much paperwork. It's crazy. It's so hard and taxing. They do that on purpose, so you just give up, I swear. So it's not easy to abuse that system. It's very, very organized and very precise.
It is crazy out here that they are cutting food stamps. Now he has a point. Money gets sent everywhere, all across the world. But when Americans need help, they're nowhere to be found. And that's the crazy thing about this, is that this is supposed to be the American dream, but it's becoming a nightmare. Now, what he was saying is that he need his stamps. He need to be taken care of. Now he has a point. And the crazy thing about that is that's a lot of extra money that's going on out there, but that's here nor there. But a lot of people feel like they shouldn't be so quick to cut it off, because there's people out here in need some food, and they may not be able to find a job. Jobs are not just calling back tomorrow. And that's the crazy part. A lot of people think that getting a job is just easy. Sometimes you could be waiting weeks and months to get a job. Or you do all that just to go to a second and third interview, and they don't even call you back. And that's the sad thing. So in this situation, it is sad to see a lot of people are losing their stamps because in this economy, you need all the help you can get because food is high anyway. So it's like I'm losing benefits and food is high. And then they're changing the rules and things like that. They want you to work 20 hours a week. But what if you can't get the job? Now, I don't say people making excuses because that's not necessarily always the case. Everything is different. And then it's like, if you working a job that's making 40,000 or 50,000, you make too much. Not even 40 or 50,000. You could be making 10,000 in 5 months and they'll tell you that you're making too much. And it's crazy because I had a friend that was in a situation just like that. You know? They was working a job and they was working at a temporary job. They was on stamps. They had to report their earnings to keep their food stamp benefits going, right? And then their stamps was cut in half from $200 to $44. So after that, they never got on stamps again because they only made like 10,000 in 4-5 months, and they told them that they made too much. And now they changing the rules. You got to work 20 hours a week or whatever. And some people just can't find a job. So what do you do? So you just cut the benefits off when they can't find a job? And that's just sad. I think they should be more lenient upon Americans because middle class, they keep this country afloat. They pay all the taxes. And for you to just disregard the lower class and the upper class, this is just a sad world that we live in. But it is what it is. That's here nor there. And I know it's just a sad situation. And this is my take on the situation. People are just struggling left and right, day by day. And for a food stamp cut, just any benefits in general that you can provide to Americans to just try to take it away for nothing is a crazy situation. And that's my take on this situation. Let me know how y'all feel about this situation. Leave it in the comments. What do y'all think? Do y'all believe that they should reduce these benefits? Or do y'all think people should continue to get their benefits? Do you think people use and abuse them? Or you think people rightfully need them? I think people rightfully need them. But y'all can put y'all critiques in the comments. That's my take. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.